So I'm Pete Stevens, so I manage the iSpectrum project on behalf of eLearning Studios and coordinate a team of partners, organisations from around Europe. So just for anybody that hasn't already looked at the website or the information you've got there, so it's kind of what is the iSpectrum project? Well, the idea of it basically is to provide work-based social interaction skills practice for people on the autism spectrum. Essentially, the idea is it's a virtual work environment, the game is, and these virtual work environment consists of three main areas of which you get to experience what it'd be like to work in those areas. You also get to experience what the interview would be like and also to selecting a job as well and get some general employability skills. The idea is that, the individual can play different roles within an outdoor commercial environment, an office or a retail. We're also seeking to provide some skills and knowledge of the benefits of using serious games, both for autism practitioners, but also for employers as well, to try and show them the benefits of the technology and also of employing autistic people. The project runs until September 2012, and it's part of the lifelong learning programme. The Leonardo strand in particular has a section for transfer of innovation, and the idea is that we're transferring various innovative ideas to other countries within Europe. So in this case, obviously, we have serious games and using that technology. We have e-learning, both in a 2D and a 3D environment. And we're also transferring other knowledge of working with autistic people and using other technologies involving talking tactile tablets and other technologies. So we've actually produced a game. We've produced an e-learning course, which is intended for anybody here who works with autistic people every day and could benefit from this game. We've conducted training across Europe. We've got training in Germany, Bulgaria, in the UK and in Italy. We've also produced a website, which on the website you'll find lots of information about the project, and you'll also find some of the resources we've produced and some of the reports that we produced during the development of the game. So the partners, Nick has already introduced eLearning Studios. We have the Serious Games Institute, which is part of Coventry University, based just over here. We have Imaginary, they're based in Italy, and they've been doing the bulk of the game development. They're the serious games developers on the project. We have Future 21st Century Foundation, and that organisation works with a range of people with various conditions and disabilities in Bulgaria, and has a particular interest in working, introducing technology to help those people. They conducted a lot of the trials and testing of the games, and we'll hear more about the situation of autism in Bulgaria later today. You also have the Institute for Innovation in Learning, part of the Friedrich Alexander University in Erlangen, and they provide a lot of research and background. They've also been innovative themselves in the last more than 20 years using various technologies and introducing those to a cross-section of people. We also have Autism Europe, and whilst they're not actually an official partner, they have been helping us with disseminating the project. They also invited us to join them for their administrative meeting last year, where we got a chance to present the project. And from that, we've now got contacts in each of the national countries, national organisations in each country. So the advisory groups is a very important part of the project. Throughout the project, we've engaged with people who are on the autism spectrum. We've engaged with practitioners, employers, and obviously, as I'm sure many people here are aware, if you ask the question of whether you should do something or shouldn't do something, if you're trying to develop something for autism, you'll get a range of different answers. Or what's the best way of doing something? And people will tell you 20 different ways. Because there is no hard and fast rule, but we're trying to obviously make the right game for as many people as possible, and also trying to do that in 4 different languages as well, and 4 different cultures. So it's important we held the advisory group meetings in the UK, Germany, Bulgaria and Italy. Not only so we got a cross-section of people from the autism community, but we also tried to take some of that, some of the different cultural differences on board as well. Something as very simple as whether you call it a bathroom or a toilet can provoke many hours of discussion. And the answer's still not sure what it is, actually. I think I'm going to call it toilet today, but in the game it's called bathroom. So it's very important that we engage both with practitioners who can give their advice of working with people on the autism spectrum, but obviously with the users as well, because they can actually turn around and say, well, that works or that doesn't work. We've also tried to get employers on board as well. It's obviously a lot more difficult, so thank you to the employers that joined us today, because obviously you realise it's quite difficult to take time out But thank you for joining us. We've created an e-learning course, which we'll hear about more later on. But so the intention of this course is that it will demonstrate the benefits of using serious games, and it will also show you an introduction to our virtual work environment, and also hopefully show you how you can create your own serious game, or at least use some of that technology, perhaps with your learners or your clients. Karen will tell us more about the e-learning course later, and that'll be available very shortly for anybody that would like to take part in that. And it is accredited through NCFE as well. We have some live training. Serious Games Institute at Coventry University put together a training manual, and they've also organised the training across Europe, and that's been conducted by various partners. The training, as I say, takes on board some of the what is Serious Games, but also shows you how to use our actual virtual work environment as well. The training manual exists itself separately, so if you'd like to have a look at that, that'll be available through the website. And we'll be conducting some more training in Bulgaria very soon as well. Just very briefly to introduce the game. Essentially, from the user perspective, it's to practice social interaction skills in the work environment and familiarise people with the job interview scenario, and also some of the main tips you should do when going towards a job interview or going for your first day at work. We've also important from the autism practitioner's point of view, because they provide the sort of their skills and experience and knowledge of both working with technology and also working with autistic people. Also from that point of view, there's many family members, especially through Autism Europe, which many of the people running that are family members of people with autism. And they provided quite a good input, actually, because obviously you have the sort of experts on the day-to-day level, but then family members give you the real insight about how this stuff gets adopted when people are back home. Employers, I say, very important as well, because obviously it's important to get the right workforce for the employer, and it's also the other way around to show the employer that actually there's lots of people out there they could benefit from. There could be particular skills that people have that might be useful to their workplace. I've already mentioned the background to the game, and Nitin's mentioned really how it all sort of came about. It was through conversations with Jacqueline Corson at Coventry University, with Karen Murray at eLearning Studios, and with the other partners, Sonia, Lucia and Rachin, who worked on this application about sort of 3 years ago. And through their various backgrounds, which I'm sure I'll tell you more about later and during the breaks, they decided to try and use technology to try and meet some of the challenges that autistic people face. Job interview scenario is pretty scary anyway, and certainly your first day work's very scary. And there's many other methods out there for sort of you doing job coaching and doing role-playing activities. But this obviously, the idea of this technology is that it sort of gives you a chance to practice regularly over and over again, and also to not require having to suspend disbelief to pretend that person you work with every single day, pretend they're a complete stranger. You can do it through the purpose of a game.